Hi guys, today we're going to be going over the second grade worksheet for lesson 30. So let's look at number 5. We're going to start off with addition. So let's look at our first example, 477 plus 333. So always make sure to rewrite the question so you can make sure that you're lining up and you're adding the right places together. So we have our ones place right here, 7 and 3. Our tens place right here, again 7 and 3. And then hundreds place right here, 4 and 3. Okay. So let's focus on our ones place first. We have 7 plus 3. 7 plus 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you count 3 up, you're going to get to 10. But because you can't put 2 digits into a single place, we're going to move this one and regroup it into the tens place. So now we have 10 added. So in the tens place, we're going to add 1 plus 7 plus 3. 1 plus 7 equals 8. 8 plus 3 equals 11. So again, since we can't put 11 here, we'll move this 10 and move it into the hundreds place. Now if you look at the hundreds place, we have 1 plus 4 plus 3. So 1 plus 4 equals 5, and then 5 plus 3 equals 8. So the answer is 810. So that's how you add these kind of numbers with a lot of regrouping in it. Now let's move on to parts of a whole. Let's look at number 3. We have 3 over 8. So this is the fraction, the number that they're giving us with the parts of the whole. So let's rewrite it this way. 3 over 8. So basically the number that's in the front over here goes to the top. The number that's in the back here goes to the bottom. So what this means is the number in the bottom, talking about the number of total parts. If you look at the shape here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because we have 8 total parts, we're going to be putting an 8 at the bottom. Now let's look at the top part. In the blue, we have a 3. This is the number of parts that we're focusing on. So it could be talking about like pizza slices, like how many pizza slices were eaten or how many parts were shaded. But because we're talking about shading here, this 3 is talking about the number of parts that will be shaded. So we have 3 over 8. If you look here, none of them are shaded. So we have to go and do the shading to match this fraction here. Because it says 3 parts are shaded, we're going to go ahead and shade 3 parts. Shade 1, 2. I'm coloring a lot outside of the lines, but it's okay as long as it's very clear that we meant to shade only 3 parts. It could be any 3 parts, they don't even have to be next to each other. As long as 3 parts are shaded, then the fraction is 3 over 8. Let's go for one more. Number 4, we have 1/3. So again, we have, the 1 at the top, and then 3 at the bottom because it's in the back. We have 3 total parts, 1, 2, 3. So this 3 is talking about the number of total parts we have. And this 1 is talking about how much we're supposed to shade. So let's go ahead and shade just one part out of this 3. Let's just do this one. Again, it doesn't matter which one you choose as long as you just shade only one of them. There we go. And this is how you work with parts of a whole. When you're given something and they ask you to show that fraction, this is how you work with that. Now let's go over comparing numbers. Let's go over number 6. We have 356 minus 20 compared to the number 320. So let's subtract this expression to see what number we get, and we'll compare that with 320. Again, make sure to line up the ones place and the tens place. The ones place, we have 6 minus 0. So that's going to stay 6. In the tens place, we have 5, take away 2, which is 3. And in the hundreds place, we have a 3. Just going to bring it down because there's nothing to subtract. So now we know that this 356 minus 20 equals to 336. Oops. They're the same thing, 336, and we're going to compare it with 320. So remember, we're always going to focus on the most left number first. We have 3 and a 3. They're the exact same thing, so we're going to move on. The tens place, we have a 3 and a 2. We know that 3 is bigger than 2. So what this is saying is this has 303 tens. This number has 302 tens. So the number with 3 tens is bigger. So we're going to have our little alligator mouth pointing towards the bigger number. Now let's look at number 10. We have 10 and 100. So let's start by comparing our ones place. Tens place. Hundreds. Because we have hundreds here and there's no hundreds here. This hundreds is a 1 and this is a 0 because there's nothing there. We know that having 1 of something is much bigger than having none of something. So the number with the 1 in the hundreds place is the bigger number. So that's how you compare numbers. And lastly, let's go over word problems. Number 1, it says Alina and you are on team A and Jordan and Karen are in team B. They're playing basketball. Alina scored 6 points in the first half of the game and 3 points in the second half. You scored 2 points in the first half and 5 points in the second. Team A scored 4 more points than Team B. How many points did Team B score? Well, they gave us how much Alina scored, 6 and 3. So let's add that together. 6 plus 3, which equals 9. This is our first round, second, and this is Alina's total. You scored 2 points in the first and 5 points in the second, so we'll add to find U's total score equals 7. This is U's. And it says that Alina and you are on team A. And team A scored 4 more points. So we're going to find out the total for team A. To do that, we're going to add Alina and you together to find team A because they are the only ones on team A. So we'll add their points, 9 and 7. 9 plus 7, if you add 9 to 7, it is just 16. So we found out how much team A scored. The question is asking for how many points team B scored. And it says team A scored 4 more points than team B. So that means we're going to have to subtract that 4 points to get to team B. So let's get team A first. Subtract the 4 points. And 6 minus 4 equals 2. Bring down the 1, 12. So team B scored 12 points. And that's the answer. I hope this was helpful for you guys. And thank you guys so much for watching.